It was just after 7 a.m. when Mr. Harold Thompson, 74, bent over to tie his shoes and suddenly felt a wave of dizziness rush over him. His heart was pounding, his vision blurred, and for a moment, he had to grip the back of the kitchen chair just to stay upright. Harold had always considered himself fairly healthy. He took daily walks, watched his diet, and stayed up to date with his doctor's visits. But that morning, he found himself rushed to the ER. The diagnosis? A dangerous spike in blood pressure. The cause? It wasn't his medication or a disease, it was 5 ordinary habits he performed every single morning without question. What shook Harold the most was this: no one had ever warned him that simple things like skipping water or checking the morning news could have such a deep, physiological impact on his heart. These were just everyday parts of his life, normal, routine, even comforting. But as his doctor carefully explained, they were quietly pushing his blood pressure higher each day, increasing his risk for stroke and heart attack without him even realizing it. If you're over 60, Harold's story might feel eerily familiar. Maybe you wake up feeling groggy or notice your pulse racing after just getting out of bed. Maybe you chalk it up to aging, stress, or poor sleep. But what if the real culprit is hiding in plain sight, woven into the rhythm of your mornings? Today, we're pulling back the curtain on 5 morning habits that could be silently spiking your blood pressure. Habits that may seem harmless, even helpful, but can quietly put your heart at risk. Most importantly, you'll learn exactly what to do instead. Because sometimes, the key to better health isn't about doing more, it's about doing less of the wrong things. Ready to take back your morning? Let's begin. Why blood pressure spikes in the morning? You may have noticed that your blood pressure readings tend to be higher in the morning, and you're not alone. In fact, this pattern is so common that doctors have a name for it: morning surge hypertension. It refers to the natural increase in blood pressure that occurs shortly after waking up. For older adults, this spike can be sharper, more unpredictable, and more dangerous than it is for younger people. But why does this happen? And more importantly, what can we do about it? Let's start with your body's internal clock, your circadian rhythm. This 24-hour cycle controls many key functions: when you sleep and wake, how your digestion works, your mood, and your blood pressure. Right before dawn, your body starts to get ready for the day by releasing certain hormones, most notably cortisol and adrenaline. These hormones help you become more alert and active, but they also have a hidden cost. They tighten your blood vessels, increase your heart rate, and cause your blood pressure to rise, whether you feel it or not. Now, if you were younger, your arteries would be more flexible, and your body would quickly balance the pressure. But as we get older, that ability fades. The blood vessels become stiffer, the heart works harder to pump blood through narrowed pathways, and the kidneys and nervous system may not respond as efficiently. That's why seniors over 60 are at far greater risk of dangerous blood pressure spikes during the early morning hours. And the timing couldn't be more serious. Research shows that the majority of heart attacks, strokes, and sudden cardiac deaths occur between 6 a.m. and 11 a.m. exactly when this blood pressure surge is at its highest. These are not random events. They are linked directly to how our bodies transition from rest to action in the morning. But here's the part no one talks about enough: while the natural hormone surge plays a role, your morning habits can amplify, or reduce, that risk significantly. Let's say you jump out of bed and rush to check the news on your phone. Or maybe you reach straight for a salty breakfast sandwich, or down a cup of black coffee without eating. These seemingly innocent choices can have real consequences. When you combine your body's natural morning rise in pressure with habits that further stress the heart and constrict blood vessels, you create a perfect storm. You may not feel any symptoms at all, or you might feel lightheaded, anxious, flushed, or out of breath. But make no mistake, your heart is under pressure, quite literally. That's why doctors now recommend a more mindful approach to your morning, especially for those over 60, or anyone with a history of high blood pressure. And the good news? You don't need to overhaul your whole lifestyle. Small changes, taken in the first hour of the day, can make a big difference in how your heart and blood vessels respond. So what exactly should you avoid? In the next section, we'll walk through 5 common morning habits that may be silently spiking your blood pressure, starting with one that almost every senior overlooks: skipping water. Let's dive in and help you take back control of your mornings, safely and naturally. 1. Skipping water first thing in the morning. After a full night's sleep, usually 6 to 8 hours, your body is in a mild state of dehydration. You lose water through breathing, sweat, and simply being at rest. By the time you wake up, your blood has become slightly thicker, and your heart has to work harder to pump it through your arteries. This natural dehydration, if ignored, can quietly raise your blood pressure. Many seniors make the mistake of reaching for coffee before drinking any water. While that hot cup of caffeine may help you feel awake, it acts as a diuretic, meaning it causes your body to lose even more fluids. That only adds to the problem. Without enough water in your system, the blood becomes more concentrated, making it harder to circulate. This increases vascular resistance, one of the core reasons blood pressure spikes. What's worse, seniors often have a weaker thirst mechanism. You might not feel thirsty in the morning, even when your body needs it most. By the time you feel the urge to drink, your blood pressure could already be elevated. The fix is simple but powerful. Drink 1 8 to 12 ounce glass of water right after waking up, before your coffee, breakfast, or medication. Room temperature or warm water works best to awaken the digestive system gently. This one act helps rehydrate your cells, thins the blood, and reduces early morning pressure on the heart. Think of it as your first line of defense, a small ritual that tells your heart, "I've got your back today." 2. Checking your phone or email immediately after waking. Reaching for your phone the moment you wake up may feel harmless, even necessary. But this modern reflex could be putting your cardiovascular system under unnecessary stress. Studies have shown that immediately engaging with news headlines, emails, or social media can trigger a spike in cortisol, the body's primary stress hormone. Cortisol causes your blood vessels to constrict and your heart rate to rise, an effect similar to what happens during moments of anxiety or danger. This is especially problematic in the morning, when your body is already undergoing a natural hormonal surge. For older adults, this extra layer of stress compounds the issue. The nervous system is more sensitive, and the heart may take longer to recover from stress-induced pressure changes. Even a single upsetting headline or a work-related message can cause a noticeable spike in blood pressure, without you even standing up from bed. Another issue? Blue light from screens disrupts your circadian rhythm and suppresses melatonin production, further stressing your system and worsening sleep quality over time. So what should you do instead? For the first 15 to 30 minutes after waking, avoid digital devices altogether. Instead, take a few minutes to breathe deeply, stretch gently, or step outside for a dose of natural light. These calming habits lower stress hormones and allow your heart to ease into the day gradually. Your morning should begin with stillness, not stimulation. Give your body a chance to wake up in peace, your heart will thank you. 3. Drinking coffee on an empty stomach. For many people, coffee is the first thing they reach for in the morning, often before eating, drinking water, or even fully waking up. It's a comforting ritual, a source of alertness, and a favorite part of the day. But for seniors, drinking coffee on an empty stomach may be doing more harm than good, especially when it comes to blood pressure. Caffeine stimulates the central nervous system, prompting the adrenal glands to release adrenaline. This surge causes your heart rate to increase and your blood vessels to narrow, both of which contribute to a spike in blood pressure. When your stomach is empty, the effects of caffeine hit faster and harder. There's no food in the system to slow the absorption or buffer the effects. For older adults who already have elevated blood pressure, this can lead to noticeable symptoms like heart palpitations, jitters, or lightheadedness. Even if you feel fine, these invisible spikes can strain your heart over time. Instead of quitting coffee altogether, the key is timing and pairing. Have a small, balanced breakfast first, something like oatmeal, a boiled egg, or a slice of whole grain toast. Then enjoy your coffee. This helps your body absorb the caffeine more gradually and reduces the sudden jolt to your system. Coffee isn't the enemy. But using it wisely, after food, not before, can help protect your heart and stabilize your blood pressure during those critical morning hours. Sometimes, it's not what you drink, but when you drink it that matters most. 4. Sudden, intense physical activity right after waking. Many seniors feel a sense of urgency in the morning, to get out of bed quickly, head to the bathroom, or start the day's chores. But jumping straight into sudden, intense physical activity right after waking up can place serious stress on your heart and sharply elevate your blood pressure. When you move from a resting state to active motion too quickly, especially after lying still all night, your blood pressure must rapidly adjust to deliver blood to your brain and muscles. For younger individuals, the body can adapt quickly. But in seniors, this transition is slower and less efficient. As a result, your heart may pump harder and faster than necessary, trying to compensate. This can cause a temporary spike in pressure, and in some cases, dizziness or even fainting. Common morning movements like climbing stairs too fast, bending over suddenly, or rushing to make the bed can all trigger this issue. These actions may seem routine, but when done immediately after waking, they can be risky. The solution is to ease into motion. Start by sitting up slowly. Take a minute to breathe deeply and stretch your arms and legs before standing. Once you're on your feet, walk around gently before attempting anything strenuous. Think of your body in the morning like an old car on a cold day, it needs a warm-up. By giving your cardiovascular system time to adjust, you reduce the risk of blood pressure spikes and start your day with more stability and calm. 5. Skipping breakfast or eating salty, processed morning foods. What you eat, or don't eat, first thing in the morning plays a major role in how your blood pressure behaves throughout the day. Unfortunately, many seniors either skip breakfast altogether or reach for convenient processed options like bacon, sausage, or packaged breakfast sandwiches. Both choices can have a negative impact on your heart health. Let's start with skipping breakfast. When you go without food in the morning, your blood sugar drops, and your body interprets this as a stress signal. In response, it releases adrenaline and cortisol, the same hormones responsible for that natural morning surge in blood pressure. This hormonal response can lead to an even sharper spike, especially if you're already dehydrated or caffeinated. On the other hand, eating high sodium, processed foods puts direct pressure on your cardiovascular system. Sodium causes the body to retain water, which increases blood volume and forces the heart to pump harder. The result? Elevated blood pressure that can persist for hours. What's the better option? Choose a simple, balanced breakfast with whole foods. Oatmeal topped with berries, a slice of whole grain toast with avocado, or a hard-boiled egg with a banana are great starts. These meals are naturally low in sodium, rich in potassium and fiber, and provide slow-burning energy that stabilizes blood pressure. Breakfast isn't just about fueling your day, it's about setting the tone for your cardiovascular system. By avoiding processed salt bombs and giving your body the nutrients it needs early on, you help your heart begin the day with strength, not strain. Let's return to Mr. Harold Thompson, the 74-year-old man who began our story, the one who nearly fainted in his kitchen one morning, unaware that his blood pressure was spiking out of control. At first, he was confused and frustrated. How could this happen? He wasn't doing anything wrong. He wasn't eating fast food, smoking, or skipping his medications. But as his doctor gently pointed out, it wasn't about obvious dangers. It was about the small, Everyday habits that were quietly piling up against him. Harold took that advice seriously. He began making just a few simple changes: drinking water first thing after waking, sitting up slowly and stretching before getting out of bed, saving his coffee for after a light breakfast, and waiting until later in the morning to check the news. Within a few weeks, his morning dizziness was gone. His blood pressure readings became more stable. He even started enjoying his mornings again, feeling calmer, more energized, and more in control. And Harold's story isn't unique. Many seniors go through life thinking that their morning struggles, fatigue, racing heart, brain fog, lightheadedness, are just part of aging. But in many cases, these symptoms are actually signals from the body, warning you that something needs to change. Your heart is doing the best it can, but it needs your help, especially in those first critical moments of the day. If you're over 60, you've likely heard dozens of health tips throughout your life. But what makes these 5 habits so important is that they are silent stressors. They don't always make noise, they don't always hurt, but over time, they can damage your heart, raise your stroke risk, and rob you of the vitality you've worked so hard to preserve. The good news is that none of these habits are difficult to change. They don't require expensive treatments, gym memberships, or trendy diets. All they require is awareness, a shift in how you approach your mornings. And with that awareness comes power, the power to protect your heart, improve your mood, and start each day on steady, solid ground. Imagine how different your mornings could feel if you woke up hydrated, calm, and supported by choices that serve your heart instead of strain it. Imagine taking back those quiet hours and using them to build strength rather than break it down. You deserve mornings that bring peace, not pressure. And now, you know exactly how to begin. So how can you apply what you've learned today in a way that fits seamlessly into your real life? Let's break it down into a simple, heart-healthy morning routine tailored especially for older adults. It doesn't take more than 30 to 40 minutes, but it could change how your entire day feels, and how your heart performs over time. Here's a sample routine to follow. 6:30 a.m. As soon as you wake up, sit up slowly in bed. Take 3 deep breaths. Gently stretch your arms, rotate your ankles, and wiggle your fingers. Give your body time to adjust to being upright. 6:35 a.m. Drink a full glass of room temperature or warm water. This helps rehydrate your body, thin your blood, and reduce strain on your heart. 6:45 a.m. Instead of jumping into chores or checking the news, step outside if possible. Let natural light touch your skin. Breathe deeply and calmly for 2 to 3 minutes. If it's cold or dark, sit by a window instead. 7 a.m. Prepare a light, balanced breakfast. Aim for low sodium, whole foods like oatmeal with banana, or eggs with a slice of whole grain toast. Avoid processed meats and overly salty items. 7:20 a.m. Now, and only now, enjoy your cup of coffee if you like. Having it after food helps reduce its impact on blood pressure and makes it easier on your stomach. 7:30 a.m. Finally, you can check your phone or TV, if you must. But ask yourself, is this urgent? If not, it can wait. This small shift in your schedule could mean a world of difference to your blood pressure, your energy levels, and your peace of mind. Try it for 7 days. Track how you feel. And if you've ever wondered whether the little things really matter, remember this: it's the little things we do consistently that shape the biggest outcomes, especially when it comes to our health. Your mornings are your foundation. Make them strong, make them calm, and make them count. Let's take a moment to quickly recap the 5 surprising morning habits that may be silently spiking your blood pressure. 1. Skipping water after waking up. Dehydration thickens your blood and puts extra strain on your heart. Drink a glass of water before anything else. 2. Checking your phone or email immediately. Morning stress from news or notifications increases cortisol, causing a spike in blood pressure. 3. Drinking coffee on an empty stomach. Caffeine without food leads to a sharper, faster rise in heart rate and blood pressure. 4. Sudden, intense physical activity. Jumping out of bed and moving too fast forces your body to catch up, often causing dizziness and pressure surges. 5. Skipping breakfast or eating salty processed foods. Both lead to hormonal stress responses or sodium overload, destabilizing your cardiovascular system. Each of these may seem small on its own, but together, they can create a hidden storm inside your body every single morning. The power to change lies in your hands. Start tomorrow by removing just one of these habits, and feel the difference. You're not just managing blood pressure, you're reclaiming your mornings, your energy, and your peace. You deserve mornings that heal, not harm.